So here's my number 20 head. This is off of a S350 1995. And so I'm just going through and kind of getting it ready. So I've got a lot of the stuff off of the intake manifold area. I just went over that very gently with a razor. Got the really tough stuff off, and then I've been using a lot of brake clean on various parts just to kind of clean it up, get it in better shape. So here's where we're at with this. I've definitely got all the lifters off. So the lifters, I've got all of the old ones here in bag, and so I think if you're doing this and you wanted to reuse them, you're probably should be keeping them with the same valves, and so I'm gonna be getting new ones. And I got the pre-chambers, the collars over there, and also too I just kind of bagged up each of the cam towers that go here, and so if you look, they are numbered, and so that way you can put them in the right order. And so yep, just kind of setting that aside. Here I have a Harbor Freight valve spring compressor, and so what I've done so far is just kind of go through the first two. So you got your exhaust, and then you have your intake, and I'm just going to use the tool and get these off. Here I've already got the first one off, cleaned the parts, just bagged it, and then the part that's been interesting is after you get everything out of there, to get the bottom plate out, you have to get your valve stem seals out. And so I tried two different strategies with that. This one, I fit the screwdriver behind the rubber and pushed it until it broke. Yeah, there we go. And so that's the strategy, and you can see I didn't break the rubber, but I just did that, and it's not a very tough metal. And then the second time I just used pliers and just kind of squeezed it, and then was able to get it out that way. So I know there's official tools for this. I think another strategy too, you could heat it up and try to pull it off. There is like a little ridge. You can kind of see it there on the first one, and I think that's regular. Same with over here too. I'll double check all this work. This is my first time getting into this, and I'm still ordering all the parts. So I just want to get this apart, get it in clean, and yeah, then I can start looking for a machine shop. And so they're definitely going to have to do some work. Like this is, with this valve cover, if you went to go put it on, it wouldn't seal very good. Yeah, the rest of it's pretty good. When you go and flip it up, definitely needs to be a little bit more clean, but I already started to clean it, and yeah, you can even read the part numbers on that guy right there. But the big thing you'll notice is there's this corrosion. So where the coolant, I think, was just eroding that over time. So I'm hoping good machine shop would be able to just weld some material in there. This is aluminum, and yeah, so I'll definitely want to get this clean once the valves are out. So I'll just keep chipping away at this. Here's my setup, and so this is definitely ghetto. So if you're trying to teach yourself, I would just go ahead and turn this off, because I'm figuring this out as I go. And so yeah, anyways, I got my tool basically positioned where you can use this handle to kind of get the angle correct on top. You can see the keepers here on both sides. This is part of my stupid setup, but getting under here, I don't have enough table space, so I just put in just anything I have that would fit under here. So I have an ignition switch that'll fill the gap, and so Now as I tighten this up, it's going to start compressing. And so I'm going to just keep doing it until that breaks loose. Okay, there it goes. It just broke loose. So now I'll just tighten up the threading on the bottom. That's what I'm doing with my hand here. I'm just tightening this up. And anytime you can just use a magnet, put it in here, see if you can get your keepers out. If you can't, you might just have to keep compressing it down. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the camera and just get those out. Great, so I got the two keepers. Basically just two little metal pieces, and they're a little bit thicker on the top, and those fit snug around the top of the valve. And yeah, you can basically, trying to get the lighting right, you can basically see them right there, the two halves. So as you push that down, then after you release, get the keepers out, it's gonna and then release the tension. You can pull out your pieces here. Here's the actual spring, and yeah, looks like I already shred my valve stem seal there. That must have been what popped when not sure. Yeah, but yeah, the magnet tool is definitely a handy one to have. So yeah, that looks like that's from the valve stem seal. All right, so now I can just so I have my tool staged for just the next one. Maybe I'll just get this next one off before I flip it off and take the next valve out. But if I wanted to, I could take this tool off and tilt out the valve and pull it right out the bottom. So now I got the springs out. There's still the stem seals on there, and I'm just going to go ahead and tilt these up. And here, since the keepers are out, I should be able to just push these right on out. There we go. And so I'm just kind of keeping some of the pieces together. So here, I'll brake clean these up. I don't think I'll be reusing these parts, but we'll see. And so, yep, so that's two done. Just a couple more to go. And so now, yeah, this is the part where you have to figure out how to get this stem seal off of here. And so I'll try to show just using the pliers. You know, basically you don't want to be scratching anything over here. So definitely I'm being careful about that. Yeah, so here's my setup. Basically I just got needle nose pliers, and you know, you can go in here, squeeze it, try to go around in a circle, get it loose. I'm not going to do it on camera because this is already tough enough. And yeah, try not to scratch anything. Got those valve stem seals out. So this kind of pliers seem to be the best for me. They actually do fit in there, and they're able to get around the piece itself. Barely fits. When they come out, you know, I'm just rocking them back and forth, pulling up, and yeah, they're basically coming out completely squashed, and that's fine. You just got to get all the stuff out of there. So yeah, now on this part, you know, I just usually get that magnet under there and then try to get a pick tool onto the other side of it. And then that way you can lift it out evenly. So just give me a minute. So I got a right angle pick tool, and then I got my magnet. And at that point, you can kind of lift it up and start to pull out that little piece. And Yeah, here we go. Just doing it one-handed, but getting it. Here we go. So there we go. Yeah. So I'll put that guy over here. Let's get the other one. And so now I've only got 4 cylinders to go. Basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to compress and pull out. Something I've noticed here, I've been pretty careful taking these out. Here's a set that I haven't taken the valve stems out for, the third cylinder. So if you look at the edges here, there's definitely already some scratching where the lifters go, where they fall in. And so yeah, I don't know how much is regular or not, but like, yeah, you can see some of these are really showing pretty badly. So I don't know if that's something that can simply get polished, or, you know, if there is a problem, like how that would happen. I mean, it's totally possible I scratched it as I took it out. I'm pretty careful about it, but I mean, there's some on here too, right? You can see there's like a scratch right across here. I didn't even take this one out yet, so it's I do have to find a machine shop, so they'll be able to tell me that stuff, but just kind of, I'm trying to be as careful as I can. After doing some more of these stem seals, finding a pretty reliable way to do it. So I'm just, you know, carefully putting it on around the stem seal. And what I'm doing here is using both hands, squeeze it real tight, go back and forth, and then lift up, and then let go, and then go down and let it fall down to see where the new part is. Repeat that. So just now, you know, it's going to be more loose. Back and forth, lift it up. Even just, you know, try to lift the whole head up just using the stem seal. Try not to touch the sides, and that'll definitely get it. And then once it pulls it up a little bit more, let go so that you can kind of get a new grip on it again. And then just repeat that. And so I'm getting them out pretty easy like that. So that's it for me tonight. I basically got all of the valves out of there, got them cleaned up, bagged, and now it's time to find some parts. And I need to find a machine shop and, yeah, figure this out. This is my first time doing something like this. I've definitely watched a lot of videos, or, you know, looked at the manuals, and also it helps go into the junkyard taking cars apart. I've definitely taken these parts apart before, but this is the first time I'm going to use these parts. So this is definitely a little bit different for me. It's a good learning experience. Yeah, and here's where we're at. So I just put the cam back in there just gently, but basically all of the valves are out of there. They're all bagged back here. I got some parts on order, including a full new set of the valve stem seals here. And yeah, I just gotta find I'm gonna order some lifters. So yeah, time to just kind of see what parts I need here. I don't know if I can keep these retaining plates. They look fine to me, so, and the keepers too. I think those are pretty expensive each. So yep, that's it for this weekend. And then, yeah, here, just a bonus. Just got lots of part numbers on my organizer here, so ready to go.